What is up, everybody? McDevitt here, and it is an exciting week. Obviously, we have the 12 Days of Christmas from OpenAI. Sama is giving us 12 presents over the next 12 days, which is pretty sick. We already got the O1 full model, and we also got the O1 Pro model, which I actually think is a good bargain. Like $200 a month. I know it's a little pricey for some people, but if you think about how powerful this model is, like, this is an intelligent system, very intelligent, and it can reason. $200 a month, you get a PhD in your back pocket that can help you through everything, and you have unlimited usage of it. So you literally have a full human PhD in your back pocket for $200 a month, and it can reason and extrapolate and plan and think. Actually, it's like actually good at problem solving. It doesn't just spit out a one prompt of slop onto you. Just it actually thinks about it and gives you good answers. I don't know. Maybe I'm overhyping it right now. I think it's a good bargain. Another thing I want to talk about in this video is just an entirely different way to think about generative AI. Generative AI has a very good ring to it. It gives kind of like an interesting way of thinking about what these models are, what they do, like large language models, diffusion models, video creation models, protein folding prediction models. There's a lot of different models out there now. And I think generative AI is a good term to describe kind of what they do. But I think a better way to fully grasp and understand what is generative AI is to call it a simulation machine. Because that's what AI really is. AI is a simulation machine. It simulates language, it simulates reasoning, it simulates protein folding, it simulates videos and images, it simulates 500 million years of evolution and actually creating novel proteins like this company does. It does a lot of simulating. And as these models improve, they'll simulate more and more and more complex phenomena. And they'll also be able to simulate reactions whenever these two different complex phenomena meet together. What phenomena comes out of that? What can it simulate that? Which we already can simulate those types of reactions and substrates like silicon. And there's also like quantum mechanics simulations, like Demis Hassabis is talking about. These things can do some form of quantum computing and simulate quantum mechanics at some level, which is very interesting. There's going to be a lot of implications, a lot of inventions, and a lot of drug discovery and potentially biological immortality coming out of that relatively soon, which is pretty amazing to say the least. And one thing that I also want to mention is while there is some like discussion as to like how far the transformer architecture will go and how far the current paradigm of models will go, there is consensus around one specific part. Well, for one, there's consensus that it'll become like AGI level within the next, let's say, couple to few years, 2 to 3 years. But another part that there is consensus on is that these things are not going to slow down at improving at math. They're only going to get better at math, and very soon they'll outperform humans at math. I don't know of any scientists or physicists in my realm. Maybe there's some that I'm not aware of, but from what I've seen, there is consensus that these things are going to solve novel proofs in math that humans don't know how to solve, or they haven't solved yet. So they're going to outperform humans at math. And if you're not aware, math is kind of like black magic. Not literally, but like it's very powerful, to say the least. And if you look at what are the 3 ingredients that make the current AI that we have today, it's compute, data, and algorithms. Algorithms and our math. Compute, a lot of it is predicted and created with math, right? And also just the structure of the language itself, the structure of the data, math helps that as well. So math causes recursive self-improvement. As these things get better than humans at math, recursive self-improvement is kind of inevitable. So as you improve the algorithm, which is one of the largest components of these models, if you can improve the transformer architecture with the math from the model, the recursive self-improvement becomes very, very intense, which is pretty cool. So when that happens, it'll create a better algorithm, which creates a better architecture, which creates a model that can solve even harder proofs, which creates a better architecture. And as you could assume, that'll go for a little bit until of course, the data wall is there, and the data wall really is there. And if you look at information theory, you can't really just like fix the data wall immediately. It's kind of like you have to create novel experiments, gain novel data, novel evidence, and feed that back into the model, which does take time. It takes more time than people would like to think. So while yes, these things will recursively self-improve via the algorithm, via the computing power, the experiments that we have to do in society will be the limiting part. But nonetheless, this intelligence in general will cause a very nice exponential, to say the least. We're starting to get to the point where the math, the intelligence, the reasoning of these models is good enough to really help that exponential, especially with the Pro version. The O1 Pro model is really good. It just is. And it's only going to get better. They already have O3. I have some sources that are talking about like O2 and O3 that are already internally within OpenAI. I'm willing to bet they're applying those to a new architecture. And I'm willing to bet things are not going to be slowing down anytime soon. This is why Sam Altman said there is no wall, because there simply isn't one. So that's the first thing I wanted to mention. That is the first way to think about these models a little bit differently. The second way is the entirely new different paradigm of entrepreneurship, of business, and of just operating in life as an entrepreneur or whatever, how you should be thinking about AI, right? So let's reference the dot-com boom, or just the dot-com era in general. So there used to be newspapers before the internet, right? That's how people got their information. Newspapers went out. You had media and agencies that put advertisements in newspapers. You had the news, obviously, was newspapers. You had all of your information in newspapers. Then the internet came along, and the dot-com boom went from newspapers to software. So then you had like Meta, you had Google, you had a bunch of software companies explode. Now we're entering another revolution, the AI revolution. Software currently is newspaper in the dot-com boom. The dot-com boom, newspaper became a dying market. Software became the growing market. Now in the AI market, software is newspaper, because AI is the final version of software. If you have AGI, that is the final version of software. Software will become, and you can argue with this as much as you want, software will become nothing but a database, a neural net, and then very simple automations, probably with Python. That's pretty much it. That's the final version of software. Everything else now is in hardware. Hardware is the new software. So that's just something I want to put out there for anybody who's thinking about like going all in on an automation agency or going all in on a software platform. These things can be good depending on how you're structuring your service and your offering and your product. They can be good. You really have to think about it. You have to really be going for like where are things heading? Not where are things now and where will things be next year? Where is the meta organism of AI heading? What is the end state of this? Which, I mean, you're never going to predict the end state, but you need to extrapolate a little bit past like large language models. You need to go to like, okay, AGI is the final version of software. How can I just make a platform that is like the robo-taxi, for example? The robo-taxi is basically an AGI, right? It's just a car that with a database and a neural network and then a little bit of code to have very slight automations. That is what the next form of software is. That's what you should be building. You basically have to build a frontier model if you want to be good at software. Otherwise, you're in a dying market. So that's number one. Number two, hardware is going to explode, which I am excited for. We're about to get some alien level technology as these models get better at math, as they improve at reasoning, and as they become the dominant form of intelligence. We're going to get some alien level hardware, alien levels of technology, and alien levels of intelligence that are going to be mind-blowing, to say the least. There's going to be so much fucking magic going on everywhere. that it's going to be insane. I'm so excited, as you can tell. But all this aside, the reason I'm bringing this up is because I see people going in a direction that is just not directionally correct. Our goal shouldn't be to predict the future. Our goal should be to look at what is objectively happening and say, how can I be the least wrong? How can I point myself in the correct direction? And then whenever we have powerful AI, I'll let that thing make the decisions for me, because that's what's going to be happening very soon, which is why me personally, all I am doing is building an audience, posting it on social media, and building a community that is full of value, a community that's full of people who understand these things, a community that is full of very smart individuals, a lot of people who are actually working within the field of AI. This is where we should be focusing our attention, not like how can I build a GPT wrapper, because that GPT wrapper is a newspaper company. That's the way you should be thinking about this. So, example, what I'm doing is I'm building a platform for hardware. There's going to be a lot of AI hardware that comes on the market. There's going to be a lot of super powerful hardware that's going to look like alien technology. I want to build a platform that allows people to hook up their decentralized hardware to my cloud computing super grid, super cluster that we could make from spread out all across the world. And within the community that I'm building, we can build very powerful models as a community. We can have different parts of the community assigned to different things, and we can build very, very powerful, we can build like our own economy, literally. And in the true sense of what an economy is, you can build your own economy with crypto technology, AI hardware, energy hardware, and that's pretty much all you'll need, genuinely. So honestly, the best advice I could give anybody right now, and I'm not trying to be the all-seeing oracle here. I'm just trying to, from all of the research I've done, how can I be the least wrong possible? How can I be the most directionally correct possible? What I would be doing, if you're not wanting to build like a digital economy, or not even a digital, it's going to be like a network state where it's physical and digital. If you don't want to build like an empire or a massive community or build your own decentralized economy, join a place that is building one. And I'm not just saying that because I'm building one, which I am building one. If you do want to join one, it's linked below. It's only $7 per month right now. It is going up soon. The price is. This is the cheapest it'll ever be. But if you don't want to join mine, join another one. Please do. Like, this is the future. In some way, shape, or form, this is the most directionally correct thing. It's the least wrong, to say the least. And that's all we can really do, is be the least wrong. And then we let AI steer us the rest of the way. Because we're getting to the point, like I said in the beginning of the video, where AI is outpacing many humans at decision-making, reasoning, and actually just being good at being an intellectual. A lot of people would be better off just like letting that AI make decisions for them. Just like anytime you have a question about anything, consult with the AI. It'll give you a reasonable explanation, say, okay, well, what about this? But it'll tell you what to do. That's how, if I was in a bad situation in life and I didn't have confidence in my decision-making abilities, I would go to GPT Pro, O1 Pro mode. Again, this is not advice. Do not spend money on anything I tell you to spend money on, besides my products. No, I'm just kidding. But go to O1 Pro mode, buy it, and then say, okay, here's my situation. Can you just talk with me through this? Help me figure out this, and then have it help you steer whatever way you want to go. Right? It's gonna be good. But that's we're getting to that point. That's kind of the point of this video, is things are changing. And I'm willing to bet that by next year, or maybe at the latest, 2026, we see the first ever one-person billion-dollar company. Like, it is now like imminent. These things are getting powerful. And if you're not keeping up, if you're not, like, $200 is very cheap for the best AI model in the world that is that powerful, and you get infinite access to it, I don't know what to tell you. That's all I can say. But again, this isn't me trying to pitch you on OpenAI's model or anything like that. I'm just sharing what I'm doing. I'm just sharing what I'm looking at, what I'm seeing in the market, and hopefully you can get some insights from that. Okay? That being said, this is the end of this video. I will see you guys in the next one.